Hi everybody, how you doing? I know that I haven't gone online for a long time or recorded any Facebook Live videos. I've been through a period of ill health, and that's kind of stopped me really from spending so much time on Facebook. But I'm really struck today by a speech the president made where he is not afraid to point out the issues, where he's not afraid to say it as it is, and really he has courage, he has determination, and he addresses the nation in such a way that he makes the issues that are relevant really kind of put out there. And of course, people have to understand and respect whatever they think of President Duterte, whatever they think of his administration. They need to understand that President Duterte has a wealth of experience. In fact, he was mayor of Davao City for many, many years. And I know people would talk about this political dynasty that some people object to. Some people say that where there's a political dynasty, that should be a thing of the past. But I have to say this, where a political dynasty is working very well, where a family have a proven track record of taking care of local people so well, in terms of President Duterte and the Duterte family in Davao, they have been looking after that city for a very long time. It's one of the most progressive cities in the Philippines. The fact is there are so many, I'm going to answer some questions in a minute, but I have to say in terms of Davao, there are so many places in the Philippines where it would be commonplace for a mayor or a politician to place their name in so many different places, be it on a van that they've donated or a minibus that they've donated or a park or a road. This mayor started this road, or this mayor financed this school. And I absolutely love the fact that in Davao, it's from the Davao city government. And it's not the case that President Duterte's name is plastered all over Davao. The Duterte family are a humble family with a wealth of experience. And really my message today is where there is a political family that is doing a great job, where there is a political family with a wealth of experience in terms of Mayor Inday Sara Duterte, who's now mayor of Davao. She's learnt a lot. She's in the family business. She understands politics. She understands from her father. She's learnt some lessons. In fact, she's even been to state visits, and she's even, if you like, I don't want to say groomed to the position of president, but what I do want to say is that she understands politics, as do the rest of the family. But in the case of President Duterte, he is a humble man. I've said this time and time again. He doesn't want all the airs and graces that some politicians would want. He doesn't want to eat caviar or eat from silver plates. President Duterte is a man who would very happily eat in his local canteen. And we've just learned recently that President Duterte helps those in need. I understand that very sadly there is a very famous, iconic singer in the Philippines recently, OPM artist, and President Duterte apparently was sending medicine to that family, and to that man. This is a president who cares. This is a president who really appreciates his people. And this is a president who really is still in office, is still strong. All of these claims of oust Duterte, or all of these people who have said oust Duterte, President Duterte has not been ousted. President Duterte is not going anywhere anytime soon. The fact is, he's still strong. You only had to see him today. He is a leader who's very much in control. He's a leader who very much understands what's happening in the Philippines. And if you look at how the Philippines is being managed right now, I understand from December the 7th, former OFWs will be allowed back into the country. This must mean that things are in order. This must mean that things are being appropriately managed, and the president really has the situation under control. President Duterte is a leader, a president who's not going anywhere anytime soon. You know, I'm so pleased today that when I think about it, I know that President Duterte will finish his term. I know he's done a great job. I'd like to wish him the very best. I'd like to wish him well. I'd like to really send my prayers and my care and my support for the president and for everybody in the Duterte administration, for Senator Bongo and everybody who's leading the Philippines in the right direction. And when there are issues of corruption, you know, there have been some issues in PhilHealth, and I know these are being properly investigated, and I know the president will not leave any stone unturned. Where there is an issue, it will be addressed. He will not shy away from dealing with situations. He will not shy away from condemning those that need to be condemned and praising those that need to be praised. So as I said, I haven't been online for a while, but I just wanted to send this message today that I must apologize because I haven't been on Facebook so often. I must apologize that I haven't made any of these videos, if you like, or messages for a while. But I say clearly today that President Duterte has my support. I know that as a foreigner, I cannot comment on any election process when it happens in the Philippines. You know, I know under Comelec rules, I cannot influence Philippine elections in any way. But I just say this, you know, President Duterte is working very hard for the future, and I know he's selecting the very best people in place in terms of Comelec, in terms of the process. I know that he won't linger in office a day past his presidency. He said this very clear, that when it's time to step down, he will step down. But, you know, the fact is, he's done the job very, very well. I know it's going to be very hard when President Duterte leaves office. I know that this generation of people who've supported him is unlike any other support that we've seen. I've seen many presidents come and go over my time in the Filipino community, and I've never seen such an outpouring of support, of love, you know, of financial support for the advocacies of President Duterte, and of course that emotional support as well, that prayer. I've never seen that level of support before for any president. Many OFWs still go home and they know that the Philippines is in good hands. They hear stories from their families back home in the Philippines that the Philippines is doing well. Despite this pandemic, this COVID-19 pandemic, President Duterte is leading from the front. He's there. He's on the battlefield. He is there. You know, people have been asking, where is the president? Well, the president is there. He's there to stay. Whenever there's a disaster or a calamity, he puts things in place. He's appointed people who have made sure that disaster recovery happens. Money's even been put aside for the COVID-19 vaccines. You know, he's not a president who wastes money. He's a president who spends money very, very carefully for the good of the Philippine people. And I know he's got his haters. I know he's got his bashers and that opposition. But I say today, you know, I can say this, I can vouch for this, because of course I met President Duterte personally. I can say that he cares very much for the Filipino people. He cares very much for every single Filipino, regardless of their political colours. He loves the Philippines with a passion. And, you know, he shares that passion that I have for the Philippines and for the Filipino people. You know, right now, as I said, I've had some health issues, but, you know, I'm back. I'm here to voice my opinion and my thoughts on social media, and to say that I really do support President Duterte. I don't know what will happen when he finishes his terms of office. You know, when he started as president, I thought, okay, he's got a long time to go. You know, things are bright and things are rosy, and there have been so many improvements. But in his last couple of years of office, he's got less than 2 years in office. You know, it really saddens me that he won't be president forever, and it's suddenly starting to dawn on me that nobody's kind of eternal. You know, even me, I have my health issues, and, you know, I sort of realize that I'm not always there, I'm not always on the ball, and it must be so difficult to know that your term of office as president is not going to last forever. And yet he's still there. He's still strong. He's not being ousted. He's not being ousted anytime soon. President Duterte is a man of 75, and yet he's still strong. He's still going strong. He's still there for the Filipino people. He still has that energy. And if he wants to spend a couple of days with his family in Davao, then so be it. You know, the people of Mindanao should be pleased that we have a president from Davao. You know, we have a president from Mindanao. In the past, that area has perhaps been neglected. And we can say now that things are happening, and things are happening in the right direction for the right reasons. So I'd like to say to President Duterte, you have my very, very best wishes, sir. You have my prayers, you have my care, you have my support, you have my love and respect, as do all of the Duterte family. And for every single person in the Philippines, regardless of any political colours, you have my deep respect. You have my deep love. You know, the Philippines is all I think about 24/7. You know, it's on the tip of my tongue, and the Filipino people are very close to my heart. Mabuhay, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much for watching this. Thank you so much for sharing this, and a big shout out to President Duterte, a big shout out to the Duterte family, and a big shout out to every single Filipino. Mabuhay, maraming salamat. Thank you so much, and a very, very best wishes, and of course an advance Merry Christmas to you all. I hope this is going to be a meaningful Christmas in spite of the pandemic, in spite of the difficulties. I'm sending you my love. I'm sending you my prayers. Mabuhay.